Bobo.
Randy.
Let me go to Nii and then we'll get back. Yes.
Well, Randy, let me say this. Let me also take the opportunity to say good morning to our viewers and especially the people in my constituency, and of course to the whole country, especially Greater Accra and Ashanti region. I thank them so much.
Greater Accra was a massacre.
Yes. Of 2024 was something I've never seen before. It was all hands on deck. Everybody. Nobody needed anyone to push him, to incentivize him, to encourage him to be on the ground. There were people who were doing their own one-man campaign without any call. And people were so committed and dedicated to the cause that everybody was on board. We put our differences behind. We didn't look at what we're getting as individuals. We just focused on making money. Randy, I will agree to some extent, and I want my brother to understand that truly the reason why they lost elections was exactly what Otumfuo said to Nana Addo at the beginning of his tenure. That when President Mahama came to him, he told him that the people voted in consideration of their anger and their dissatisfaction of the economy. And so, if he's not careful, he will also be booted out on the same yardstick. And truly, on the ground, it was difficult. I met NPP people, Randy, who were reluctant to wear their own T-shirt to campaign because they couldn't stand the harassment, the insults from people when they go around. There was a time Eriko Sewusu, Eddie Kwatin, Robert Ansan, Alex Aite, Neo Tukome and I, and yes, I think one other, we decided to do a little survey in Kumasi. So we wore the reset T-shirts through town in Kumasi for 1 hour. Randy, we did not meet one person for 1 hour wearing It Is Possible T-shirt in Kumasi, of all places. And as soon as people see us, those who are driving, they blow their horn, they honk, they wave at us, they shout, "Ezu, Eza." We walked from the mall to the stadium traffic light, turned left towards Edum. And for 1 hour, we did not see anybody wearing an NPP T-shirt. That should tell you something. We went in the evening, we decided to do another work around Bulldog. And we're there in our T-shirts. And if you could see how people were hailing and people were happy about us, then all of a sudden MPP came there with their car, their pickup, started dropping their T-shirts on the table. And people were taking it and throwing it back at them. That should tell you something. It's a message. I just want the people to understand one thing, that in every election, especially when it comes to the end of a cycle, the incumbent government suffers some apathy. It happened to the NDC in 2000. It happened in 2008. It happened in 2016. And it has happened in 2024. When it comes to the cycle, no matter what you do, you will suffer some apathy. Because so many of your party supporters will have sat down, analyzed the past 8 years, and they ask themselves questions. What have I gained? What benefits have I derived from being a member of the party, fighting for the party the past 8 years? They will do analysis and see what are the trends, both economical trends, political trends, social trends. How is it going? And it informs the decision they will make. Look, if your party people, through your analysis, do not vote, is a vote of no confidence in you. They are not happy with the way you have managed things. They wouldn't want to go to the polls, possibly to vote for the opponent, so they better stay. They abstain. An abstention is a vote of no confidence. It's a rejection, whether you like it or not. Maybe if those people have gone to the polls, the difference would have been wider. Yeah, because they don't want to embarrass their own party. They don't want to make it so bad for their own party. So they rather stay home. The NPP's campaign was also flawed. Randy, what was the message of the NPP in these elections? Free SHS. So, when people began to analyze and look at free SHS, do a critical analysis of the free SHS, vis-a-vis the economy, that the child goes to school, and then 3 weeks is home, coming to spend 3 months at home, then if that child, if you spend 15 cedis a day on that child, you calculate and you find out how much am I spending on this child instead of him being in school. Then you come to the realization that the free SHS, so-called free SHS, is rather hurting me more than benefiting from it. Because hitherto, under John Mahama, the child will be in school for 3 months uninterrupted. I will not be spending on him. I will not be paying water. I will not be paying electricity on him. But now he's home after 3 weeks. So for the 2 months and 1 week he's going to be home, I'm going to spend 15 cedis a day on him for food. I'm going to take care of his water. I'm going to take care of his electricity. And when you put that together, it tells me something. And people were doing those analyses. There was an interview of children who have benefited from free SHS. Randy, and 9 out of the 12 all related to the challenges, the difficulties of the free SHS. And the reason why, even though they benefit from the free SHS, they were going to vote for John Mahama. These were children who have finished free SHS and they are in a university, level 100. And they were talking about the challenges of the free SHS. I said, look, talk to us and we'll tell you what we went through. And if you consider the fact that prior to free SHS, all that the parents spent on the child in the boarding house was 420 cedis. And then, introduction of free SHS. Your child comes to stay home, and you end up spending over 1,200 cedis on a child. Free SHS will not be a convicting, let me say, message for you as you go to the polls. But the NPP were reluctant to do this analysis, and they were just free SHS, free SHS. I sit down and listen to your station, Randy, and out of the 20 adverts that were played, 17 free SHS. 3 were on Baumia's integrity.
Maybe they were responding to the data. Because if you follow the data and the data told you that, look, the number 1 issue is about the economy. 2 is about jobs. And then maybe education is 3rd or 4th.
Yes.
And you believe that when it comes to the economy, you don't have a comparative advantage. When it comes to jobs, you don't have a comparative advantage. When it comes to education, you believe that with the free SHS, you have a particular advantage. You would want to go there.
Randy, you see...
Because when it comes to the economy, it's not what you tell me. It's how I feel.
Thank you.
So you can inspire hope with a new person who is coming when it comes to discussion about the economy. But you would want to force the discussion on education rather than the economy. So maybe that's what informed the NPP strategy. They wanted to force
and then
the discussion on education rather than the economy.
Then they were not having feedback on the message. Because in political communication, once you introduce a particular issue, within a month, you should be able to do an analysis and have a feedback. Randy, in my constituency, do you know what people were saying? Even in Greater Accra, Free HSS and over. How come in 7 cities will get free SHS? You understand?
Yeah.
In our economy, in our social life in Ghana, people want the realistic issues. You understand? Anybody who gets to the pool first will be asking themselves, how much am I buying cake? How much am I buying even ice water? Before you start thinking about free SHS. So that's what I'm saying, that if they have done the analysis very well, the issue of the economy, fine. Unless they are thrown their, well, let me say, let me accept it that way. Nana Akufo-Addo himself gave up on the economy long ago, before the elections, said that, well, he knows that things are very bad, but he is praying that the one who will come after him will do it better. And I can assure him, John Mama will do it better. Because we are convinced about the problems confronting us. We have fair knowledge about what the issues are and what we should do. It is only commitment that will make us be able to achieve. But let me say, generally, I feel bad for my friends, especially Bobo. I just hope that he will not abandon me when I come to second D. He will not take me to places that he used to take me. Even though I told him that he was losing, he didn't listen to me. Yes, I met him at the airport. I told him, Bobo, made you sit, no? I said, I will grow. In fact, he told me, he's here. He told me, he said, I'm joking. I told him I'm taking a seat. He said, I'm joking. I said, I won't tell me what second D. I said, you are joking. Go and look for better thing to do. That's what he told me. And my seat, no, so I'm bad. But that is football, you know. Football, I'm boxing, football, you know. When we finish, we exchange jerseys. We touch gloves. I hope he will not abandon me. I hope he's not taking it into.
So what happened to Sly? That's the constituency you live in.
Yes. Sly's problem is NDC, NPP induced.
How?
Sly had too many problems in the constituency, especially when it comes to infrastructure. You know, we're not getting water. The doomsaw was too much in the constituency. The roads are terrible. And he cried many times. I know. I personally followed him to places where he wanted to seek help. Because I live in the community, so I thought that assisting him to get the help will ultimately benefit me too, you know. So it's not a matter of politics. But they didn't help him. They didn't help him. They waited at the last minute and decided to use the drip machine to do one or two things on the road. But it was too late. Our road was terrible. Randy, that was a road which was done during Atta Mills' time. That's why we call it Atta Mills Highway.
Okay.
From Old Barrier to Aplaku, to Botiano, to Oshie, to Tuba. And you could use that road to connect to Buduburam.
Yes.
When there's traffic on the main road. So people, commuters, in the morning when there's traffic, and especially when it rains, and then there's a mudslide, and the main road is blocked, that is the road people use. And it was terrible. And apart from that, the two main roads, the arterial roads, Randy, were also bad. Botiano, New Botiano, through to Akwasa, My 11, and those places. And it was really bad for him. It was really bad for him. I thought that they would have helped him a bit, but his loss is our gain. So even though he's my brother, I'm happy with taking the seat because I know he will find something to do. And I'm around. So the two of us will look at how we can help each other. We are brothers after all. But then the NDC deserve, because the NDC has suffered too much in that constituency. For how long? We created a constituency and we never won before. And when you look at the dynamic, yes, that constituency was taken off Wejagbawe.
Okay.
It was specially created looking at the population dynamics to favor us.
gerrymandering in 2012.
Which you are expertise of.
You're sure?
Oh yes. You did it so well.
You want that to
Dangote and Obi
check
Amwes,
the constituency creation record of both parties?
Yes, Dangote and Obi Amwes speciality. Randy, unfortunately, after Bright Demoji had won the first term, throughout, we've lost it. But if you look at the composition of that constituency, the NDC shouldn't lose. The NDC should no way lose that constituency. Like you're saying, that look at secondary, if you look at the composition, you're looking at certain places, typical NPP strongholds. You understand? It's the same. But the NDC has never been strategic in that constituency. We've never been. But this time, in fact, we had meetings and meetings and meetings in order to address a pertinent issue that always affects my coastal brothers. And that, to some extent, resolved our problem. It was an understanding, okay, let's give something out, let's also accept this, and not to make the dynamics much more resilient to the NPP strategy. And that helped us.